yeah, my numbers going up. All these trophies, what do I need anymore?
This one, a fantastic atmosphere here in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cleveland Browns and the Minnesota Vikings. Here's the former Sooner, Austin Seibert, to get this one started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
No. Off. Hey, Ringo, 48.
Cousins now to throw on first down. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that? Who
are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's Cousins. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the first down carry. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now a toss. This is Geis. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Operating from the gun, Fitzgerald, and this is going to be incomplete.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Here we go.
Out of the shotgun, it's Bell. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Jahan, 180. 54, right 54. Rip left, rip left.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. The open man is Smith. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. His first catch, good for 8 and a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it with Bell. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
Now this is Le'Veon Bell with a reception. Call it a gain of 3. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Hey, Haywood.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins going for the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 35. That's a first down with a cherry on top, 31 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll go back to the ground with Bell. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it. Lucky 48. Here we go.
To throw is Cousins. He's going to let it go deep for the ends. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Throwing, Cousins, and that'll be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Third and goal for Cousins. And this is going to be intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And a short return to the 6-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They start on the ground with Geis. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
Boy, you go 3 and out on your first drive, and that's not the way you want to start this drive either. Doesn't seem like they're really into
it. You don't want to call it a disaster, but not looking very sharp. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off, actually.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Browns drive about to get started. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up with their...
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Anthony Barr gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. We're scoreless after 1. The start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Browns in control of the football. Throwing on 2nd and long. Fitzgerald, the Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Geis. There he goes left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Darius Geis, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. As his guys are on the board first here tonight. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Mike, 55. Right there in the middle. 55. Let's go, D.
Now Cousins. That's complete. It's Bell.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Cousins to throw it. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
At the 43-yard line. On the set. Come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. Get it.
On 2nd and 11 now. Fitzgerald. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And it's now 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. 27 yards on the gain there. After the penalty, it's Bell. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 48-yard line.
From just shy of midfield, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And the lane closes quickly for Bell, and he did not make it. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
On 1st and 10, Fitzgerald. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw. Fitzgerald. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Past the 20. And all the way down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way.
Njoku pulls this one in. He's got it for a Cleveland touchdown. David Njoku, his first touchdown on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert up and good, and it's now 21-0. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
6-6. Pull it high. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Hey, check Mike.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but over the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Cousins on 1st down. He's looking deep for Bell. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it was against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And it's 2nd down.
Ready. 15, run. 15, run. Ready.
Throwing again. Fitzgerald. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Browns are going to get the 2nd half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Browns drive about to get started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Fitzgerald. It's caught by OBJ. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and it is 28-0. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here at half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Hey, Charlie!
To throw again on 2nd down. Cousins, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ed Oliver, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. Looking downfield for Godwin. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Levante David. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Avery Williamson there to make the stop.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
They stay on the ground. Geis again. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. From the gun, Fitzgerald. That's going to be caught. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And on this challenge, the refs have to take a peek and see whether or not the receiver was able to dot the I with both feet,
while making sure that he possesses the football all the way through the catch.
So on 4th down, out comes the Browns kicker, Austin Seibert. This one from 48 yards away. Seibert able to knock this one through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Throwing is Cousins. And an alley to run. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's...
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. The first down run with Bell is he'll get about 6 there. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. To throw, Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there, keeps the sticks moving.
Cousins now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. A give to Bell. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Rudolph on the receiving end from Cousins. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
1st down. Here's Cousins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Here's Cousins. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
The Browns drive about to get started. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down.
Go now. 18,
Second and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Let's go, heavy.
They'll go option on second down, right side. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Fitzgerald. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down with the first down, and a late flag here too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture, as now they've got a 1st and 10.
X3, 218, chop. Ready.
A pitch back. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
2nd down. Here's an option right. And an alley to run. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 27. Here's Hill. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Normally when you see a short gain in the middle of a 3-4 defense, go ahead and pat the nose tackle on the back, because he's holding things up and taking on extra blockers, which allows one of the inside linebackers to roam free.
And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Fitzgerald. This is the tight end, Njoku. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Viking 17-yard line. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. A toss right to Geis. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Darius Geis with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
At the 25-yard line.
Cousins now. A screen to Bell. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. The man has got it. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Looking deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football. That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
The Browns drive about to get started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. We you know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
Here we go again.
Geis with the carry on 2nd down. Tackle made there by the UCF man, Mike Hughes.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Let's make these babies crawl all the way back home.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Cleveland, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
Y'all already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did, huh?
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, hole in the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, hole in the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch it, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was crazy, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause I said no wrist. Why bet you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When it's not saving, Be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out, cuz I never switch, I never switch.
I was legit ever since I blew